Well, alright, alright, alright. How y'all doing out there in BMX land? This is well, what I'm going to do here is, I used to do YouTube videos for the game World of Tanks. And I've stopped playing the game for the most part because it kind of sucks now. And I've wanted to do something else. I keep on telling myself, find a different game to make videos on or whatever. And, right now, I've been rebuilding some mid-school freestyle bikes. And I figured, something? There are so many possibilities of stuff that's for sale on the BMXmuseum. I'm going to start critiquing shit. Maybe people will like it, maybe they won't. Don't know, but I'm going to do it. So, we're on the site now. I don't know why I can't change this to the big pictures, but I can't. So we're going to have to look at the little pictures, I guess. I don't know why I can't have just big pictures, why it's set up like this. It used to be able to change it. And maybe you can somewhere, and I just don't see it right now. I don't know. Let's see what we got. We're going to go with some complete bikes. We'll do maybe a 10-minute video at most. I don't want it to be too long. Probably 5 minutes. I don't know. 2 or 3 bikes here. We'll pick them out and just, give my worthless piece of shit opinion on the bike or what they want for the bike or whatnot. And I don't see anything I want to do yet. Haro Blyther? Nope. Huppy Pro Thunder? Nope. Dyno Comp? 86? Nah. Let's see. Generally, yeah, nope. What the hell? Come on. Can we get a freestyle bike here? Something that I can bullshit about? Predator Freeform Z? Nope. Predator Streetwise, Race, Punch, Huffy. Did I pick only race bikes? Ooh, Haro Team Master. We'll open that one in a new tab. Let's see what else. I can already tell I have something to say about the Master. They want $8 grand for it, so. Hey, and let me start off right now by saying I understand people asking high price for shit right now. Because there's people out there that'll pay for it, so. As long as there's people out there that want to pay 3 times what a bike is worth, then advertise it for 3 times it's worth, But that same bike right there, I haven't really looked at it, but an 87 Team Master 5 years ago would have been $2,000, $1,700, somewhere in that ballpark. So, I think paying any amount over $2,000 for a bike, unless it is a perfect 100% original RL22, maybe a Master, Dyno Pro Comp Team, GT Pro Freestyle Tour Team, maybe the Hutch Trickstar, certain bikes like that, possibly worth a couple grand. Maybe a little bit more than that, but the price they're asking now, people are getting now for stuff is just fucking nuts. And unless you bring home $400,000 a year, you can't afford to buy more than one of them. So, but I digress. Let's get back to, I opened a couple of them there. Okay, so we got 2 open. I want to open 5. This isn't going good. I figured I'd pick out 5 really quick. Redline Puron, 84 Kurahara. Okay, we already seen that one. Concord, Predator, Chromo, Diamondback, Mini Lucky. I must have picked GT Pro Freestyle Tour complete bike. 62. We'll talk about that one. Lineage, I don't want to deal with that because it's too new, I think. Excuse me. Haro Zippo. We'll do the Zippo. And so that's 4. Let's find one more. One more. Come on. Never that one more. Come on, one more. 95 Slammer. There we go. So we got our 5. So I'm going to start right on the Slammer. Slammer will be the first one. This would be the bike I'd pick out of all them that I just picked. This is the bike I'd take. They want $1,350. 95 Dyno Slammer bought from OG owner about 6 months ago. He bought new like it sits. No, he didn't. It didn't come with those tires. It didn't come with blue brakes. This is what I was told. He said he was an original owner. And none of those parts, yeah, I think someone down bought them. None of those parts came on a 94 new. Maybe the stem and the wheels, but hard to tell from the pictures. Yeah. Hardly anything is original. Ouch. That's the truth, though. I mean, I can tell just by looking at it. The seat's wrong. Pedals are wrong. Tires are wrong. It's got chain rim adjusters wrong. The brakes might be the right type of brake, but I don't think so. Pegs are GT on the front. That might have been something that came on it. The grips are wrong. So, yeah, let's click it open here. Let's see what we got. Dyno Slammer. I had one of these. I had a 95 Slammer frame. I bought off Dan's Comp in like 97. It was a in the specials bin. I think I paid $60 for it or something, 69 or something like that for the frame. No fork, just the frame. I wish I kept it. It was a really good frame, really. But I was all into the 1 1/8 head tube at that point. And said, geez, you know, I want to. I at the time I had a 97 Slammer that I rode. So I like the 95 frame a little bit better, personally. But hey, you know. All right, let's get to this bike anyways. Wrong tires. Okay, wrong tires. Right off the bat. Are them GT wheels? Are they GT hubs? I can't tell from that picture. That is a Diacomp rear brake, but that's like the ombre, I think, because it's got the exposed springs. I'm pretty sure a Team Slammer would have came with 990s. Maybe Tektro. GT did that for a couple years there. They threw Tektro cross pulls on there in like, I think either 88 or 89. Don't know why they'd go from, I mean, price, I would imagine. Cheaper than the 990s. It's a wrong seat. Could be the right seat post. The wrong clamp, I believe. Might be the right stem. Wrong bars. Wrong grips. Possibly the levers could be just an anodized version of the right stuff. It's the right stuff. Let's see what the next picture. Whoever rode that. Why are your levers so high, dude? Why are they way up there? And your gyro just looks so unadjusted. Yeah, I like the cranks. I like the sprocket. I like the frame. And the rims are probably okay. I mean, I prefer chrome rims, but, you know. But that front brake doesn't look right either. The front brake looks wrong completely. And I don't think those are dyno bars. I don't think, maybe my 97 Slammer had bars similar to that. But I don't think these would have been available at this point. But maybe. Yeah, no, she's far from original. So, that being said, what would I put for a value on this bike? Well, I'd pay $350 for the frame and fork. Maybe even $400. With the stem, that's another, you're talking. To me, that bike is worth maybe $600. Maybe. Because you do have, you know, you have some nice cranks, I think. I'm pretty sure those are either the newer GT Chromes or Profile, maybe. Can't tell from the pictures. The hubs, I believe, are GT because you got that little swirl right there. If you can see it, right where my mouse is circling. They had them little, almost like the sprocket. They had almost the same shape as a sprocket. Well, actually, them ones look like they've been cut out. That's been cut out. That's fucked. So that sprocket's no good, actually. Why would you cut your sprocket like that? I'm going to save 7 ounces. Oh, goodness. Take off the chain adjusters in the back and you wouldn't have to cut your sprocket. So the sprocket's no good. So yeah, that bike, $500 or $600 maximum. Sorry, dude. Don't mean to piss on your parade, but yeah, no. It's not worth the $1,350 you're asking. But if you want to take $500 $5.50 shipped. I'll give you $5.50 shipped for it because I want the frame and fork. Let's move on to the next one I had, a Zippo, a Haro Zippo. I don't know much about the Zippos. Those are a mold school, as Bendy Tubes would say. It's mold school. Late 90s Haro Zippo. Haro complete bike, 20-inch, sold as is. Chromoly steel, twin top tubes. I believe all parts are original. Good condition. Doesn't seem to have been ridden a ton. Some rust spots from age and storage. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's take a peek at this. Was the Zippo full chromoly? Or was it just chromoly front triangle? I don't remember. I thought most of the full chromolys had 990 mounts, but maybe not. They weren't a bad frame, really. I mean, I've always thought of getting a Zippo and putting 990, like a 990 plate, or even welding 990 mounts to it, because I don't think they were a horrible frame. You got the Fusion cranks, the Haro 8-ball sprocket, so that's probably original. The Fusion post and the Haro seat, so I imagine that's original too. The stem looks like that weird stem Haro had that was split on the front. So I can't see a picture right now of it, but I'm sure I'll look at it in a second. The forks look original. Yeah, the bike looks pretty much original. Hey, way to give us the same picture that you had before. Yay! Looks like you got big axles on it. And then another one of the same pictures. Let's not spin it. Let's not show us anything different. Yeah, that is a Fusion. That is that weird Fusion stem they had. An SST Orge. Not too many people have them anymore. And the Bulldog front brake. Yes. They weren't bad front brakes. Although, if you had side pull in the late 80s, early 90s, the only brake worth even putting on for a side pull was an ACS Boa. The rest of them just... I mean, this wasn't bad for 1986. But once the Boa come out with the ball bearings and the heavy arms with no flex, these just, they weren't even worth putting on a bike. Got some Fusion pegs too. A little bit of grindage done on them, but not too bad. And we see another picture of the fork. And we got a VIN number. Yeah, I'm not going to look up the VIN number or nothing. So he's looking for $5.99. I think that's a little high. Although it looks pretty much original. But how many people were able on an original Zippo, really? I mean, I guess it could be someone out there. I think that's more along the lines of a $3.99 bike. $400, right in that ballpark. So he's not far off. That's not horrible. Not horrible at all. GT Pro Freestyle Tour complete bike, $62.50 and $50 shipping. You're only asking $4,000 more than it's worth, and you want the $50 shipping above that? Okay. I don't know that. I mean, let's see. Complete 87 Pro Freestyle Tour, not a team model, I don't think. Doesn't. I'll look at the pictures in a second. Paint is all original, OEM parts except seat post, tires, and pedals. Tires are repop. Excellent bike to keep all original. Well, you can't keep all original if you don't have all original parts. Paint has some fading. Frame is in good condition. No welds, just some chipped paint. Nip-ons. Gyro. Bubble font chain. Original disc. And cranks. 182 levers. That's nothing to brag about unless you just want original levers. C-clamp, Ukiah rims, that was with the Super Lace. Yep, Super Lace hubs, that sounds right. Probably with hollow bolts, hollow axle bolts, I would imagine. GT pegs, all stickers. C-post is GT stamped, but 88. Let's see what we got here. This better be in really good shape. I mean, for $6,000, it better be like... I can see from this picture right here, we've got the original stem, the original bars, the original levers, I believe. Them look like AME tri grips, but they don't look quite right. I could be wrong on that one. You got a nip-on front brake. You've got the wrong color C-post. So, I mean, yeah. Looks like your rims, the spokes are all rotted. Let's see what we have here for another picture. Let's maybe blow this up a little bit. Can we blow it up? There we go. Let's see. We got a bunch of frame chips on the frame and the dropouts on the coin roll around the C-post clamp. Forks don't look too bad. Down tube doesn't look too bad. Stem doesn't look too bad. But yeah, them are all rusted. Got the nice hubs, and you got the right rims and the right axles, the hollow axles, which I never really understood on a freestyle bike that has pegs, but whatever floats your boat, GT. The repop tires. Yeah, this isn't looking like $6,000 to me. Ooh, we got the bubble font chain that's like not painted. It's supposed to be white and black, so I guess you got the right chain. But you got a blue C-post, so that doesn't go. That needs to be completely refinished in the correct color, which would be white. So that's not hard to refinish white, I guess. Let's see what else we got. We got, yeah, that looks like the correct sprocket and probably cranks, I'd imagine. The correct brakes. The bottom brake should be, was this an 87 or was this an 88? 87, I don't think that's the right brakes for an 87. I don't think. I could be wrong. But I'm thinking that the 87 was supposed to have 9. Oh, yeah, those are. Sorry. Beat me like a redheaded stepchild because I'm wrong. Those are 8990s. For some reason, I thought they didn't look like 8990s at first, but I think they are now. I don't know why. My eyes saw something different. Should be Nippons and 8990s for the rear, I believe. You got the cable routing through the frame. That's pretty cool. Your gyro cables are, I mean, you look up here, they're all bent and twisted, so they're not worth anything. So what you're asking for, you got your sprocket, but it's got paint chipping all off it. You're asking for full on top of the line dollar. Oh, look at them rusted spokes. So the rims need all new spokes, need to be relaced. So you're asking for top-of-the-line dollar, what this bike is worth complete. Remember, it's not a team model. So you're asking for what this bike is worth, completely done, 100% original, team model money. And I'm not going to be sorry about this one. Jason? Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. But you only got 5 feet back. You got one thing for sale and one post on the page. You're not getting $6,200 for that frame and fork. If you do, go play the lottery with buy $6,200 worth of lottery tickets because you'll be a millionaire the next day. If that's your luck. Because that bike right there, all put together, 100% original, is only a $3,500 bike. And that's at today's prices. 5 years ago, it would have been a $1,500 bike. If that. So you want top dollar. You want what someone should pay for. I wouldn't even pay $6,200 for a perfect, all-original Pro Freestyle Tour Team Model 1987. Personally, I don't think that's worth $6,200. Maybe $4 in today's market. Maybe a little bit more. The price seems to have even jumped even more in the last 6 months, which is nuts. People are already asking way more than a bike's worth for these bikes. And now it seems like it even jumped even more in the last 6 months. It's crazy. But that bike right there in that condition is not worth half of what you're asking for it. My opinion. And my opinion ain't worth shit, so don't worry about it. If it offends you, just remember that. I'm just some old stupid idiot that used to ride bikes. And probably don't know a fucking thing about them, except for there's no way in hell I would. There's 100 bikes on this museum I'd pay that money for before I would this one. Well, maybe not 100. There's at least 10 bikes on this museum. If I was going to spend $6,000 on a bike, it wouldn't be on this. Ooh, what's this? This is an 89 Team Master with Bash Guard. Up for sale is a beautiful 89 Haro Master. All top-end parts. Please feel free to PM me. Sickness. Nice. Nice. $3,400. You can get up a little higher than that. That looks like a Team Master, though. Did it say Team Master? Yep. Team Master of the Bash Guard. So it looks original. See, now right here, compared to that last bike, I'm not a fan, excuse me, of the old Haros. I had a 99 Master that was my favorite Flatland bike I ever owned. But the earlier Haro stuff I was not a big fan of. I had a friend that had a Haro Master in like 87 or 88. And he couldn't keep forks on it. He bent them forks. He bent with the wheel, the dropouts, over and over and over again. And so, and I think did he have Peregrine cranks? No, I had a different friend that had Peregrine cranks on a General Osborne Pro. We'll get on, that's another topic we won't go to. But this one right here, this is I think 100% original. You got chrome wheels, I believe. You got your Haro forks with the built-in fork standers there. And these are better forks because they have a different dropout. They're more heavier than the 87-ish versions. Looks like you had the Pitbull rear brake, and I imagine that must be probably the 860 front brake. ACS 860. Could be a BOA, but I don't think they had them on these. I'm not sure. Looks like the right crank, the right sprocket, the right seat posts, bars. Everything looks original on this. So this one is a better deal by 100-fold than that last GT. This is just, it's a better bike. It's all original. The paint looks better. The condition looks better. It has all the right parts. It's got the H high pressure 48 chrome plated. I mean, right there, those are super pro rims. Them fucking rims are sweet. You know, it's got awesome rims. It's even got the right clamp. I mean, you can't go wrong with this bike. That's a beautiful bike. And again, it does have boas on the front. Oh, yeah, with a doubler. Boas with a doubler. Why? Okay, you got chrome rims and you got boas. You don't need the doubler, my friend. But fucking sick. That's awesome. That is so fucking awesome. You don't need it, but it's fucking awesome. That's fucking sweet. Yeah, this bike is definitely a better bike than the Pro Freestyle Tour we just looked at. $3,400, I think, is still high. I think it's a $2,500 bike, personally. But, I mean, it is 100% original, it looks like. And it has an ACS doubler on a set of boas. Don't ask me why, but it does. So, it's got to be something special. That must be worth more money right there. That's fucking sweet, though. That's awesome. Love your bike, dude. Love it. Would love to have it hanging. I don't ride anymore. I'm 53 years old. I don't ride. I have a few bikes that I've been working on in the last year that are hung up. You know, I might get out and show my son a boomerang or something. But that's the extent of my riding nowadays. But I'd love to have that hanging beside my bikes. That's a sweet bike. I think you're just a little high on the price, but, you know, each to his or her own. I'd much rather pay $34 for that than $62 for this. And I'm a dyno person, you know, GT. Never really loved the GT versions. I always loved the dyno versions better. But, yeah, much better deal. And then here we got an 87 Team Master. This looks almost like my friend's was, I think, the blue. They had a blue and pink and black with chrome on the back in 87. I believe that's what he had. And them forks just, yeah. But this looks to be 100% original Team Master. Let's just say here. Many more photos available. Yeah, we don't care. I took these and handed over fork standards here yet. Insured. They're on there. I'll get the updated photos as soon as possible. The bike is correct as far as the parts is as correct as they come as far as parts. New old stock condition. All in condition of the bike itself is a solid 9 out of 10. Really rather not ship this, but if there's no other way to get it, it's a new home, we can make it work. Located in Minneapolis, yeah, okay. C4 Labs, so it's been repainted. Freestyle bars, co-union grips, I think that's what they came with. Tech 7 levers, gyro, diacomp cables, headset, YST headset, that's what the Haros came with, the YST. Group 1 stem, that sounds right. Peregrine tires, Peregrine high pressure Satin finish hoops. You mean they were anodized? that's what the word termination, or the term for it, was back in '87. Hard anodized, whatever that meant. I just know that regular rims, you cleaned your brake pads like every 20 minutes if you were doing Flatland, or your brakes didn't work good. Hard anodized, you might get an hour. So the only way to go was chrome. You didn't have to clean your brake pads once a month, just from dust or something. Fluted, laid back post, Dominator seat, end line. Okay, that looks Peregrine 3-piece crash. Oh, we got some Peregrines. I was going to talk about them, wasn't I? Now we get to talk about them, I guess. So yeah, that bike right there, that's 100% original. It's a beautiful bike. It really is. I can't say it's 100% original. It's been repainted, re-decaled, obviously. But if you want one to hang up and say, hey, look, this is the bike I had as a child, this is a fucking great version of it. Yeah, got the original Diacomp levers. Okay, my problem with the Peregrine cranks, and it could be just the person that I knew that had them, he had a problem where they would start slipping. And he'd tighten up that bolt right there. Oops, can I make that bigger? Yeah, we can a little bit. He'd tighten up this bolt, and they'd work for a while, then they'd start slipping again. And he'd tighten up the bolt. Eventually, after about a month of that, that gap was completely closed. And it didn't close tighter. It actually bent the welded pieces together. It wouldn't pull the crank tighter. I mean, it did to a point, but then it just bent. This stuff in here just gave way. It never cracked. I couldn't... My father had not only a welding shop, but he did body work for cars. So I had a MIG welder and all that shit, and I was like, well, we can grind them off and weld it if they're broke, if they're cracked. And we couldn't find any cracks. We took them apart and looked. It just looked like they weren't built good. Maybe he was just really hard on them. I don't know. He had them on a general Osborne Pro. He wasn't really a street person, though. He maybe some bunny hops and shit, but he played mostly flat. He did mostly Flatland. So I don't... He wasn't small, but he wasn't big. He was, probably 6 foot, 150, 60 pounds. He wasn't huge. So, yeah, I never really liked the Peregrine cranks because of that. But let's see. We got 990s. What else? Beautiful paint. C4 Labs. Everyone I see that C4 Labs does, they do a pretty beautiful job. We got real HP tires. Peregrine high pressure pro tires. 100 PSI. Dominator seat. Yep. Great seat post for it. The right seat clamp, I believe. Group 1 stem. That would be right. That Group 1 stem, did that come with it for an ACS? I think that little hole right there is if you had an ACS rotor. Could be wrong on that. Beautiful bike. Love it. But I don't $8,000 love it. And I know, like I said before, you might find someone that wants this bike and says yes. But no. Us mere mortals, there's no way. There's no way that's an $8,000 bike. And I love it. It's awesome. But again, like I said earlier to some of the other bikes, 5 years ago, that was a $20, $22, maybe $1,800 to $2,500 bike. And I know the prices have gone nuts. I understand that. But Jesus, you want $5,000 more than it was worth 5 years ago? No. Beautiful bike. Love it. And it's probably worth it to someone. It's only been on there for, 15 or 16 days, so time will tell. But no. Dude, your bike ain't worth that much. At least not to an idiot like me. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed this. I think I'll do another one. We'll do a couple more and post them one a week here for a little bit and see if anyone catches on to them. And see what happens. I might just do it for the hell of it and, not even care if anyone watches them. I don't get money from YouTube or anything like that. Never did. I just did it for the hell of it. I have another channel that has, I don't know, 3 or 4,000 subscribers. Nothing huge, but I never promoted it or nothing else. I just made videos and for the fuck of it, pass time because I got nothing else to do in my life. So, anyways, love your bike, dude. Just I don't see an $8,000 bill there, but that's just me.